Imagine this: 11 bodies discovered along a lonely stretch of Gilgo Beach in Long Island, New York. For more than a decade, police searched for answers. No arrests, no clear suspect, just fear that a serial killer was still out there. Then, in 2023, a shocking twist: detectives traced DNA from one of the victim's crime scenes to a quiet man living just miles away, a New York City architect with a family, a job, and a secret life that stunned the world. This is the story of the Gilgo Beach murders, one of the most chilling serial killer cases in American history. Long Island, New York, a place known for its beautiful beaches, summer homes, and quiet coastal neighborhoods. But in December 2010, that peaceful image shattered. It all started with a missing woman named Shannon Gilbert, a 24-year-old escort. Shannon had placed a frantic 911 call, screaming that someone was after her. By the time police arrived, she had vanished into the marshland near Ocean Parkway. As officers began searching the area for Shannon, they made a discovery that shocked them: not her body, but the remains of another young woman. Within days, 3 more sets of remains were found, all near the same stretch of Gilgo Beach. These 4 victims, Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, Amber Costello, and Maureen Brainerd Barnes, quickly became known as the Gilgo Four. All were young women. All were sex workers who had gone missing between 2007 and 2010. The news sent shockwaves across Long Island. Families feared there was a serial killer hiding in plain sight. The media descended on Ocean Parkway, broadcasting images of police combing the windswept dunes. But the horror didn't stop there. Over the following months, investigators discovered more remains, eventually bringing the total to 11 sets of human remains. Some victims were linked to the same killer. Others, police believe, may have been murdered by different people altogether. For over a decade, the case remained unsolved. Detectives changed. Police commissioners came and went. Theories spread. Was it a lone killer? Multiple killers? A police cover-up? Residents near Gilgo Beach lived with constant fear. Was the murderer still driving past their homes? Was he hunting again? Would more bodies be found? The Gilgo Beach murders became one of the most infamous and haunting mysteries in American crime history, a puzzle with too many pieces and no clear picture. And then, more than 10 years later, came the breakthrough that would change everything. For more than a decade, the Gilgo Beach case sat cold. Leads went nowhere. Families feared they would never have answers. Then, in 2022, everything changed. A new task force was formed, the Gilgo Beach Homicide Investigation Task Force, combining the FBI, New York State Police, and Suffolk County detectives. They started from scratch, using advanced technology and available back in 2010. That's when they found something crucial: a single hair from one of the burlap wrappings used to bind a victim. It was degraded but still testable with modern DNA analysis. The results were shocking. The DNA didn't match anyone in the national database, but it did match a relative. This led investigators to a quiet, suburban neighborhood in Massapequa Park, Long Island, and to Rex Heuermann, a 59-year-old New York City architect. Detectives began following Heuermann day and night. They collected trash from his curb. They even took a discarded pizza box and tested the crust for DNA. The result? A perfect match to the genetic material found at the crime scene. But DNA wasn't the only evidence. Cell phone records showed that burner phones used to contact 3 of the Gilgo Four victims had pinged near Heuermann's home and office. He had also made chilling Google searches late at night. How to commit murder? Why is the Gilgo Beach case taking so long to solve? And even searches for sadistic and violent pornography. With DNA, phone data, and digital evidence in hand, police moved in. On July 13, 2023, in a dramatic late-night raid, Rex Heuermann was arrested outside his Manhattan office. SWAT teams surrounded his Long Island home, searching for more evidence. Neighbors watched in shock as police carried out boxes of weapons, computers, and possible trophies. The man they thought was a quiet family man, a husband and father, was now accused of being the Long Island serial killer. And yet, even with the arrest, the case was far from over. Because investigators still had one question left: was Rex Heuermann responsible for all the victims? Or were there more killers still out there? The arrest of Rex Heuermann shocked the nation, but it was the evidence against him that truly froze people's blood. Police had been watching him for months, carefully collecting every scrap they could find. DNA evidence. The strongest piece was the DNA from the crime scenes. A single male hair found on one of the victims' burlap wrappings was degraded, but technology had advanced since 2010. Using genetic genealogy, investigators traced it to a family line, eventually leading to Rex Heuermann. To confirm, they surveilled him and his family, collecting trash and personal items. The breakthrough came when they took a discarded pizza crust. The DNA from that pizza matched the crime scene hair with overwhelming probability, virtually eliminating any doubt. Cell phone and burner phones, but DNA wasn't enough. Investigators dug into cell phone records and discovered a chilling pattern. The killer had used burner phones to contact 3 of the Gilgo 4 victims. The calls pinged near Heuermann's home in Massapequa Park and near his office in Midtown Manhattan. After each murder, those phones went silent until the next victim appeared. Digital footprints. Even more disturbing was what they found in his digital life. Investigators uncovered internet search history that painted a terrifying picture. How to commit murder, torture methods, body decomposition timeline, and dozens of searches for updates on the Gilgo Beach case, as if he was tracking the investigation in real time. He even used burner phones to make harassing calls to victims' families, taunting them after their loved ones had vanished. Inside the house, when police raided Heuermann's Long Island home, what they found shocked even veteran investigators. Hundreds of firearms, locked safes full of disturbing material, possibly even trophies linked to victims, evidence police have not fully revealed to the public. Detectives spent weeks combing through every room, digging up the backyard, searching for any trace of additional victims. The car. And then there was the car. Heuermann owned a Chevy Avalanche, the same type of vehicle seen by a witness near one of the victims' homes before she disappeared. That truck became a critical link tying him to the night of the murders. When prosecutors laid out this evidence in court, the DNA, the phone data, the car, the internet history, the case against Rex Heuermann became one of the most compelling serial killer prosecutions in modern history. But here's the most haunting part. Investigators still believe there may be more victims, more bodies, more secrets hidden in the sands of Gilgo Beach. The arrest of Rex Heuermann brought some answers, but it also opened up a whole new set of questions. Did police really catch the Long Island serial killer? Or is there more to this story than anyone realizes? Prosecutors say the evidence is overwhelming. DNA on the burlap, phone records, his car, his search history. If this theory is true, Rex Heuermann lived a chilling double life. By day, he was a successful architect, husband, and father. By night, he was allegedly luring women, killing them, and leaving their bodies near Gilgo Beach. This theory explains why the killings stopped after 2010. Maybe he got scared, or maybe he simply didn't need to kill again. But if this theory is correct, why did it take over 13 years to catch him? Many investigators believe the Gilgo 4 were not the only ones. 11 sets of remains were found in total. Some were men, some were dismembered, others had been there for much longer. Could Rex Heuermann be responsible for all of them, or just some? If he killed more victims, where are the rest? Are there still bodies undiscovered, buried in the dunes of Long Island? Some experts argue that the other bodies don't match Heuermann's suspected method of killing. Different dumping styles, different victim profiles, some older, some more recent. This has led to the chilling possibility that Gilgo Beach may have been a dumping ground for multiple killers, not just one. Imagine that. One stretch of beach, used by several predators over decades. For years, critics accused law enforcement of dragging their feet. A former police chief was later convicted of corruption. Some locals believe that internal politics delayed justice, or that someone may have been protecting the killer. While there's no proof of an intentional cover-up, the idea that this case could have been solved sooner only deepens the pain for the victims' families. Perhaps the most haunting theory of all, that there was never a clear motive. Heuermann, if guilty, may have killed simply because he wanted to satisfy some dark urge, to feel control, to play a game he thought he could win. That possibility, that there is no why, is what keeps many people awake at night. Even now, with Rex Heuermann behind bars, the Gilgo Beach murders remain a mystery bigger than one man. How many victims are there really? How long did this go on? And will we ever truly know the full extent of what happened on that lonely stretch of beach? The arrest of Rex Heuermann sent shockwaves through Long Island and across the world. For the families of the Gilgo 4, it was a moment of relief mixed with pain. After more than a decade of waiting, they finally had a name, a face, a suspect. But it didn't bring their daughters back. Melissa Barthelomew's family remembered the taunting calls they had received after she went missing, phone calls believed to have been made by her killer. Megan Waterman's loved one spoke of her young daughter, who would grow up without her mother. Amber Costello's friends described her as a fighter, a survivor, until the night she didn't come home. Even Maureen Brainerd Barnes' family, who had waited since 2007 for answers, finally had someone to hold accountable. But with that relief came rage. Why did it take so long? Could other women have been saved if the case had been solved earlier? Neighbors in Massapequa Park were stunned. They'd lived next door to Heuermann for years, never suspecting that a man accused of being a serial killer was mowing his lawn and walking past them every day. Reporters camped outside his home for weeks. Police dug through every inch of the property, the backyard, the basement, even the floorboards, searching for more evidence. The house became a macabre landmark, a place people drove past just to catch a glimpse of where he had lived. National media in the USA and UK covered every development. Headlines screamed Long Island serial killer arrested. True crime podcasts, YouTubers, and TikTok creators dissected every piece of evidence. But for investigators, the work was far from over. They're still combing through thousands of files, retesting evidence, and asking whether Rex Heuermann could be linked to more cases, not just in New York, but across the country. And for the community, the fear still lingers. The beach where the victims were found is still there. The memories are still there. And many believe there may still be more secrets buried under the sand. The Gilgo Beach murders have become more than a case. They've become a haunting reminder that even in quiet neighborhoods, evil can live next door. And until every victim is named, every question answered, and every family has closure, this story is not over. 11 bodies, more than a decade of fear, and one man, Rex Heuermann, now sitting behind bars. But even with DNA evidence, burner phones, and cell records linking him to the crime scenes, the mystery isn't over. Was Rex Heuermann truly the Long Island serial killer, or just one piece of a bigger puzzle? Some investigators believe there could still be more victims out there, more bodies, more families waiting for answers. And if Heuermann isn't responsible for all of them, that means someone else, maybe more than one person, is still free. That's the most terrifying part of the Gilgo Beach case. Even after 13 years, we still don't have the full truth. What do you think? Was Heuermann a lone predator, or could this stretch of beach have been a dumping ground for multiple killers? Drop your theory in the comments below, let's talk about it. And if this story shocked you, make sure to subscribe, hit like, and share this video with others who follow true crime, because the more people who know about these victims, the harder it becomes for their stories to be forgotten. Because sometimes the scariest part of a case isn't what we know. It's what's still buried, waiting to be found.